30 seconds. I just want to remind Mr. President that what is happening in the Sahel is only the consequence of what was done in Libya. That intervention in Libya where you forgot. When I speak of you, I am not talking about you personally, I am talking about your position. You forgot about the existence of the African Union. Mr. President, as you like to say, we are in Mali to help Mali. If we hadn't come to the Sahel, there wouldn't be a government in Mali right now. I want to tell you that if it weren't for Africans, there wouldn't be a France today. We are connected. We are connected. We are connected. Stop saying that you came to help us. No, because terrorism doesn't only threaten Mali. You are threatened as well. Stop making us feel guilty by putting us in the position of victims.
But Mom, I'm not making you feel guilty.
Mr. President, I haven't finished.
I'm not making you feel guilty. I'm trying to actually restore a reciprocal and respectful dialogue.
Yes.
We weren't there just for our own interests when we arrived in Mali in 2013, that's a fact. However, what you said about Libya, I've said it several times as president, I agree with what you said. In Libya, we did not respect the sovereignty of a people, and that was a mistake.
All right, thank you for acknowledging that. And if you recognize that, you'll see that what is happening in the Sahel is only the consequence of that intervention. So you are in the Sahel to correct the mistake you made in Libya. And in trying to correct those mistakes, you are making other mistakes. Mr. President, I remind you that foreign military intervention has never solved a problem. What is Libya like today? What is Afghanistan like today? So military intervention is not going to fix things. I don't want my country to end up like Libya. Take responsibility and above all, stop saying that you are here to help us. No, you are not here to help us. We are in this together. We have a common enemy and we are fighting it together. And finally, these recent exchanges, these last few days between you and the Malian authorities, it's just a disgrace.
My name is Raimwende Elda Kwama. I am proud to be African. I am Burkinabe, and I am truly a person of great integrity. Thank you. So, there is absolutely no need for me to specify that all of my remarks today will be guided by truth, by sincerity, and by complete frankness. Without any filter, Mr. President. My point will revolve around all these perceptions. And if we are to talk about perceptions and these false concepts that are incompatible with the reality of our people, we must especially address the outdated, unsuitable, and demeaning vocabulary that still appears in your speeches and in those of your institutions when you speak to Africa or when you raise funds to help Africa. Among these expressions, there is one that always catches my attention and in the end bothers me. Development aid. Mr. President, aid, as long as it does not help, as long as it does not lead to freeing oneself from aid, as Thomas Sankara said, must be done away with. Because aid, that kind of aid, makes one a slave. This kind of aid prevents people, populations from making it on their own through their own abilities because they are capable of it, Mr. President, and you should know that. The best is within each of us, no matter our origin. So I will continue by quoting here the late Joseph Kizervo, an African intellectual. Surely you know him, you read a lot. Isn't that right, Mr. President? He said, and I quote, "You don't develop people, people develop themselves." End of quote. So if you can't develop people, you also can't help them develop. Development aid has been circulating in Africa for nearly a century. It doesn't work. You should know that Africa will develop itself through its local potential and that of its diaspora, and certainly in interdependence with other nations on the planet, but above all, through healthy collaborations. I repeat, healthy, transparent, constructive. There are bright minds and there are also investors in Africa. We are already innovating in Africa. And if this relationship we envision is not co-constructive, we don't want it. So is it over? So it's over with expressions like Save Africa. Let's help develop Africa. There are so many miserable people over there. It's over, Mr. President. So, if we truly must live together, simply because we absolutely have to, it will be in a state of interdependence, I repeat. But above all else, it must be in mutual respect and a deep appreciation for one another. This is the only way forward. Mr. President, you wanted this summit to be different. You called on us, civil society, fully aware that all we can do is say what we think. You are a president, you can make decisions, so let everyone take responsibility at this summit. Mr. President, I'm going to propose some concrete actions to you. Do you know? I think you do. The AFD, the French Development Agency, will soon turn 80 years old. This is an opportunity to do things differently. Start by changing the name and change the substance as well. As has been said so well, we want partnerships that are clear, that are transparent, where we too can speak, where we have a say, where we can also take action and bring both intellect and financial resources to the discussion table. I will finish. I will finish because I really enjoy exchanging with Mr. President. But I will finish. And I invite you to visualize this with me. If the relationship between African countries and France were a cooking pot, know that this pot is very dirty. It is stained by only a superficial acknowledgement of the abuses committed. It is stained by corruption. It is stained by a lack of transparency. It is stained by demeaning language. It is dirty, Mr. President. I invite you to scrub it clean. Through concrete actions. I have already proposed actions, now you begin. My friends will do it too. If you absolutely refuse to wash this dirty pot, and if you still insist that you want to cook our dinner in it anyway, then I am telling you right now that I simply won't eat a single bite of that food. We will no longer be able to eat, and the continent of Africa will no longer be able to eat. The meal. Just listen to this. The meal. The meal. The delicious meal will soon be ready, but you will be the only one sitting at the table with such a difficult appetite. A word to the wise.